Samsung may be gearing up for a major shakeup in its flagship strategy. And the latest Galaxy S27 Pro rumors are already sparking big questions about what the Galaxy S27 lineup could look like in 2027. According to a new report, Samsung is considering adding a Pro model to the SRIs, potentially positioning the Galaxy S27 Pro alongside the Galaxy S27 Ultra as two top-tier options. Instead of putting nearly all the absolute best features into a single Ultra device, if this leak turns out to be accurate, it could mark a real change in how Samsung structures its premium phones. The idea is that the Galaxy S27 Pro would sit just below the Galaxy S27 Ultra, delivering more of the ultra-great experience to people who want flagship performance, without necessarily going all-in on the biggest, most expensive model. Meanwhile, the standard Galaxy S27 and the Galaxy S27 Plus would remain the more consumer-friendly picks aimed at buyers who want a premium Samsung phone but don't need every last high-end feature. What's especially interesting is how closely this rumored move mirrors Apple's iPhone strategy. Apple has increasingly leaned into a multi-tier lineup approach, where the base iPhone models are designed to serve the mainstream audience, while the Pro and Pro Max models hold the most advanced camera systems, display tech, and performance features. A Galaxy S27 Pro could be Samsung's answer to that playbook. Expand the top shelf of the lineup so there are two truly premium options instead of one, and use that to cover more price points and more buyer preferences. But there's an important catch. Here, we've heard this story before. Last year, similar chatter claimed Samsung was preparing a Galaxy S26 Pro, and it even gained traction after CAD renders and design talk started circulating online. The rumor cycle built hype, but the supposed plan never became official and, ultimately, that Pro model didn't materialize in the way leaks suggested. That history matters because it's a reminder that not every reported roadmap becomes a real product. Some plans get tested internally, some get shelved, and some are never more than early concepts. Samsung's recent experiments also show that the company is actively trying different lineup ideas, even if they don't always stick. One of the biggest examples was the Galaxy S25 Edge. Samsung attempted to expand the Galaxy S25 series with an Edge-branded model, hoping it could create a fresh category inside the flagship lineup. But the sales performance reportedly didn't meet expectations. And once a device fails to gain traction, it can quickly reshape the company's next-year plans. Before that sales reality set in, there were also rumors that Samsung might replace the Plus model with an Edge model in the following generation, essentially swapping the Galaxy S26 Plus for a Galaxy S26 Edge. Again, design leaks and early schemes appeared, and people started imagining what an Edge slot in the lineup might look like. But as the story goes, those plans seemed to fade, and Samsung reportedly reverted to keeping the Galaxy S26 Plus and dropping the Edge replacement idea. Just like the S26 Pro rumor, none of this was publicly confirmed by Samsung at the time. But the pattern is hard to ignore. Samsung appears willing to explore lineup reshuffles, then adjust based on market response, pricing pressure, and what consumers actually buy. That's why the Galaxy S27 Pro leak is exciting, but also why it has to be treated carefully. It sounds plausible, especially in a market where buyers are getting more selective and where Ultra phones keep climbing in price. Creating a Galaxy S27 Pro could be a smart way to spread premium features across two top models, making the Ultra feel less like the only true flagship option. It could also help Samsung respond to competition without forcing every innovation into a single, oversized device. So what would make the Galaxy S27 Pro worth existing? The most realistic scenario is that Samsung would share some high-profile features between the Galaxy S27 Pro and Galaxy SRT Ultra, features that instantly communicate this is a top-tier phone. A 200MP main camera is one of those rumored shared features, especially since Samsung has already used ultra-high megapixel sensors in its flagship camera messaging. If the Galaxy S27 Pro really is designed to align more closely with the Ultra, it could inherit a 200MP sensor, or at least a very similar main camera system, giving it serious photography credibility and helping it compete directly with other premium devices. Another Rumored possibility is a privacy-focused display feature, something that could reduce viewing angles or enhance on-screen privacy in public spaces. Whether that ends up being branded as a privacy display or packaged as a suite of display privacy tools, it's the kind of premium feature that fits a Pro label. It's also a feature class that feels more daily use valuable than a spec sheet flex, which is exactly what Pro buyers tend to want: practical advantages that justify the upgrade. But even if the Galaxy S27 Pro shares major headline features with the Galaxy S27 Ultra, the Ultra would still likely dominate where it matters most to Samsung's top-tier branding. Expect the Ultra to keep the biggest and brightest display, the most complete camera hardware, and the most ambitious zoom capabilities. Historically, the Ultra is where Samsung stacks the best telephoto setup, the most no-compromises camera array, and the largest footprint that allows for the biggest battery and the most thermal headroom. A Pro model beneath it would probably balance premium features with slightly more restrained hardware, still top tier, but with a clearer gap that protects the Ultra status dot. And that gap is the key. If Samsung does launch a Galaxy S27 Pro in 2027, it has to answer a simple question: why should a buyer choose the Pro instead of the Ultra? And why should someone choose the Ultra instead of the Pro? The Pro needs enough high-end upgrades over the base and Plus to feel legitimately premium, while the Ultra must remain the undisputed king for people who want the absolute maximum Samsung can offer. If Samsung can't create that separation cleanly, the lineup becomes confusing and risks cannibalizing its own sales. There's also the broader market reality. Naming and lineup structure matter more than ever. Buyers are bombarded with options, and brands use Pro, Ultra, Plus, and Edge to signal value tiers instantly. Apple has trained a lot of consumers to understand that Pro means best cameras and best performance, and Samsung may want to make that decision-making equally simple inside the Galaxy S. If the Galaxy S27 Pro arrives, Samsung could be aiming for a clearer ladder, standard for most people, Plus for bigger screen fans, Pro for serious enthusiasts, and Ultra for the no-compromise crowd still. Given how many similar Samsung lineup rumors have appeared before and how often they've changed direction, this latest Galaxy S27 Pro report should be taken with a pinch of salt. Early leaks can reflect prototypes, internal discussions, or market testing that never becomes a final product. The fact that previous Pro and Edge expansion rumors didn't fully translate into the expected launches makes it smart to wait for stronger evidence, more consistent reporting from multiple sources, supply chain hints, accessory listings, or a clearer trail of model identifiers.